In Crusader Kings 3 Tours and Tournaments, we're going to host a grand wedding today. We'll have to handle potential rivals attending, and worst of all, the in-laws. For tournaments, we'll attend a tournament in France where we'll be able to compete in a joust. Our protagonist today, Duke Edgar of Mercia, has become a renowned tournament knight. He has unified the Duchy of Mercia. He also opted to visit his vassals on a grand tour. From a feast to a festival, many bonds were forged. Now it's time for his greatest challenge of all, marriage. Duke Edgar of Mercia is busy attending a new tournament. Today, we're going to have a joust, which we've not done before. It's going to be interesting. Let's visit the tourney grounds. A new hire. Squires laugh and joke while they polish helms and mail. One of them snorts so hard it sounds like a pig, and the rest soon imitate him. Their knights are busy near the tents, waiting. Among them, I spot a fellow, Count Renaud's counselor. His skills have been greatly praised and his name resonates as one of the possible victors. I could convince him to join my own council. We could poach him. That is an option. However, if we have a look at him, he's got the pox. And I'm going to leave that here in Paris. We're not going to bring it back home. I do not wish to offend Count Renaud, so my score increases a little bit. My score right over here. We have been able to qualify for the jousting tournament, which is quite nice. Now, we're one of the favored contestants. Our skills are very good at many things. Our wit is non-existent. Our horse contest aptitude, only one of many levels. Contestants circle the list on horseback, valets holding their arms aloft. As the herald announces the contest commencement, squires scurry to and fro, bedecked in their liege's colors, carrying equipment and supplies for the bouts ahead. The joust qualifiers have come to an end, and it's clear who will be put forward for the quarterfinals as it stands. The varied pitches and volumes of the crowd's cheers leave no question as to the favorites. For my first bout, I've been paired against my fellow contestant, Baral. So now, I could place a bet, which is interesting. I could just say I am ready, but why not place a bet? Peering at the bookie by the tavern's dim light, I ponder the stream of odds he shouts over the heads of the milling punters. Baral is the joust favorite, 4-1 on for Baral. Really now? Okay. You know what? I don't blame them. Our count here, Amaury of Montague, he's not going to be doing very well. I'm going to bet on myself though. Yeah, 45 gold. I'll take that. Now I could sabotage one of my fellow knights. However, unlike future characters, Duke Edgar wouldn't do that. So, it is no way to win. Joust quarterfinals, Mercy Me, like the Alkaline Trio song. The two horses break into a trot. My lance begins to descend to its position, but I see no similar movement from my adversary, Baral. Instead, his lance points away from me, far off target. The Mercy Pass is well known amongst those that are familiar with jousting. Once the pass has begun, deliberately aiming away from your opponent will signal you would like to appeal for a reset. It is a matter of respect for one's competitors to comply with that request. Of course, this is only if you see your opponent's wish. I won't take easy wins, I won't do that. We are no cowards here. Look at our animations, we are going into the fray. How exciting. The banners flicker and flap in the breeze, full tilt. Stilling away the crowd's breath for a moment as I curb my horse, I hoist my lance as the previous events of the contest play back through my mind, like when my opponent asked for a mercy pass. I am on top, but there's still another tilt left. All I need is to draw this last pass. I could try to hit them in the head. I've got a high chance to do that. It combines my prowess and martial skills. I could aim high, go low, and over here, diplomacy and learning. So even if you're not someone who's martially capable, there are ways for you to engage here. And finally, aim for the shield. We could do that, but I want a moderate increase to my score, not a small one. Come on. Did it happen? I believe we did it. Look at that victory. All right, Duke Edgar. I love the beautiful art too. Striking home. First, the sound of the crash. Then an instant later, a shuddering jolt up my arm. Then suddenly another sound. The crowd's acclaim. My lance strikes home with force, shattering on my adversary's shield. Even more notably, they have missed entirely. We reset a last time, and as my horse thunders towards Baral, I have a good feeling about this tilt. My lance strikes true, straight into his shield with a deafening crash and an explosion of splinters as his own flies past me. That's all the points I need. The judges call an end. I have won. The joust quarterfinals are over. And we're able to see those who were eliminated over here. They were knocked out. And our jousting skill has gone up already. I can do this. I'm fighting a duke now, who's a drunkard, but a very talented drunkard. He's also a little bit nefarious too. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna face him right away. Joust semifinals. Who are ya? As noise cascades down from the stands, my horse flutters its ears in light distress. I pat its mane reassuringly. The crowd has been awfully hostile for this round. Indeed, as I scan them, they burst into song. He's got no sword, got no finesse. Duke Edgar's got nothing left. Oh, it's a home turf game. I gotcha. A few are even leaning over the barriers, and I note with alarm the bang, spittle-flecked faces in the front row screaming at me. Alright, we're gonna be stressed out though, which is fine. They'll have to deal with my victory. The crowd got in my head though. I'm a bit stressed out. We can't win every time. Full tilt. The banners flicker and flap in the breeze, stealing away the crowd's breath for a moment as I curb my horse again. And so now, we could try to hit them in the head again. We'll do it. And look at that, another win. Headshot. Double kill. Okay, well, we didn't kill them, but we could have. Striking home. And I don't need to read it again because I have won and we know about that event description. Here's another match. Earl Roger. Alright, a fine contest. Not many people from back at home. Alright, so now here's my final foe. A Saxon. I believe I can beat him. If only I could make a new bet. Joust, arm and a leg. The sights and sounds of a joust are always something to behold. The clashing of lancel and shield cuts through the noise of thundering hooves as waiting horses whinny and snort. It is as I am listening keenly that another noise rings through the field. A short, sharp yell presages the sound of a gathering commotion. I hurry over to join it. A ring of people surround my future foe, who has clearly fallen from his horse before his match. His arm hangs at a rather grisly angle. A small mercy, then, that he also appears to be quite dazed. Oh, that poor guy. You know what? Fetch my doctor. It goes very well for him. I want him to be healthy as I knock him out. Alright. Again, a headshot. And so we have won. We're able to focus on that because our own skills are quite proficient when it comes to martial and prowess. And we are striking home. Look at that. Small tells. Being part of a crowd at a sporting event can be a real treat. The atmosphere, the sound, and the sights. Only problem is it can sometimes bring as many downsides as it does boons. One such downside is just materialized as I find myself stuck behind a large frame of a fellow. Ah, one of my knights. Well, he's already severely injured, and he's got a very strong dwarf child who will one day become a knight of ours. I could make him kneel, but I don't want him to be brutally mauled. I mean, that feels so mean. Alright, I'll ask him to move, which did not work out. So we're going to have to calm down. I'm going to begin working out. Instead of drinking, instead of praying, I'm going to go for a run. We'll become athletic. Perfect. And I'll feel better for it, I'm sure. The contest winner. Trumpets sound, the crowd clamors, competitors begin to assemble. The contest is over, and someone's limelight is being readied. A herald steps forward, voice booming out across the scene. After many trials, some tribulations, and above all else, here we go. We beat them. And truly there are none in France that can match my skill. My champion didn't even qualify, which is very shocking. She's very, very good. But I've done it. Now, I put a wager on myself, so I won a bit more gold. Overall, 45 gold here from my 15 gold wager. 150 prestige, 90 gold for my prize pool. And I'm a champion jouster for 5 years. So glory hounds love me. Our heavy horsemen will do more damage, we have none. And I'll gain more experience for my hostile looter trait, which is all great. It's over. We did it. But wait, there's a war going on, so now the tournament is over. So now we know what happens whenever there's some manner of peasant rebellion. You can't actually stay here. There's a peasant revolt going on. That's really unfortunate. So now I suppose we've got to go home. Eventually, I'm going to play as a full-time Regent. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. There's so much that you're able to do. In our current situation, our mother, she has used a bit of her prestige in order to increase her scales of power. Currently, she's got scales of power level 1. Here, diarchs can try to embezzle gold from their liege. This regency can be ended at any time that the liege is fully capable. It doesn't really matter, she's going to be okay. She's self-interested And so she's not going to do too much, I believe. I could try to swing the scales back. That could be interesting. I've got many options for that, but I don't want to. I could leverage gold, 245 to her. I could also use my prestige. I have a lot, but it's okay. I don't have a bit of piety to use. I don't have a hook, and I can't talk to my religious leader for that. I mean, we all have many reasons, but let's have a look at our current event. So Tegan has become a bit lost. She's our caravan master, and she's not able to speak the local language. Let me try. I'll give it a go. We got lost. It did not go well. A local hero. As we traverse the flatlands, trudging through the dirt, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Oh, naively carved, it sports a cross at its head, and below the weathered words. Interesting. There's a local spiritual figure here. Well, I don't like that. I'm going to cast it down. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not really a local here. Let's get going. Their ways are strange to me, and it looks like we were able to make it home quickly, which is great. My regency is over. We've got a dangerous faction. Well, they say dangerous. It's only one area that's rather angry with me. So what we're able to do, we just want to use a bit more control, but he's currently working. He being Earl Bjorn, my marshal, and we have a new perk as well. Let's grab a household guard. That way we have more knights. Now we are very stressed out. We need to calm down. 92 stress is not great. So we're going to host a feast. 180 gold. Every person of stature in the realm has been invited to a great feast. And it looks like my Chancellor Wolfston did not do a good job. A prince of the Welsh has a claim on one of my lands. He's feeling poor, which is good for me. I want his lands. But let's have a party. We could do a murder feast. However, we would have to go down the intrigue line. Let's have a feast. Events will lead to occasions to gain opinion. Certain options will allow for stress loss. Does a feast need a reason? I think not. And so right now, the locations you can pick from are displayed on the map. The chosen county will receive the Great Banquet modifier for 5 years. So a lot more development growth, 20%. That's very substantial, and more popular opinion. It's got to be over here in our capital. Farms and fields. A little discount for us. It's very safe, I believe. Who could be our honorary guest? We've got the king. That's a great option in my view. I like him. He's a good fellow. Let's do that then. He's going to be my honorary guest. And our intent here is not to murder, not to seduce, nor befriend. Instead, we're here to have a good time. We've done so much. For my activity options, we've got dish complexity. Simple trenchers. Actually, prestige would go down. Exotic delicacies. A bit of prestige. Culinary art pieces by Hannibal. That would be really good. Now over here, number of courses. It could be satisfactory for our base little option. Small opinion gain. Very small courtly vassal opinion gain. Or we could go up. It's a lot more money, but let's put on a really good show. Why not? And here, it's time to begin. Making time. The servants run across the hall, bring in the final decorations. Some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. Oh, I seem to have spotted some roast swan already. A cheery gathering. The guests are gathered in a great hall. Lords and ladies from the near and far reaches of the realm. I've been craving for an occasion like this. The mood is bright and spirits are high as the feast begins. Welcome, friends. So we've got 40 people here right now. King William, Duke William, Prince Richard, Duke Gilbert. A lot of notable names. The high table breaks, and we'll keep our activity log open over here. Look at that. Thank you, Captain. The great table seating the upper nobility on the dais gave a loud crack, and a moment later, it gave in under the weight of food and gilded decoration. As my most distinguished guest and I had to be fitted in among the lower nobility, I ended up close to my acquaintance. Mayor Gerard, Earl Walter, took it poorly, however, and told everyone it was a grave injustice to be seated with lords and ladies barely better than commoners. Acting quite the opposite, Prince Richard displayed grace and humility among his lessers. Gerard and I ended up talking all evening, and agreed it should not be the last time we feasted and laughed in each other's company. Look at that. So now I've got a new friend. Finally, there's an easy way to make friends, which I love. In my house, I did everything I could, ensuring that Savary and Earl Walthioff would be as far from each other as possible. It was not enough, and now they have come to blows. In the middle of my feast, one of my guards is close to the brawl and looks to me for the order to intervene. Oh, I love that. Halt! We will talk about it later. So we've got a sick earl of mine, my friend, now brawling with a bishop, the Bishop of Normandy. You know what? Let it happen. It's hilarious. As my guests leave, they seem to depart in good spirits. I'm also relieved to see that Captain Balthier does not depart without saying farewell. We both know we will be seeing each other soon. Considering he's a mercenary leader, that could be an ominous sign, an ominous foreboding of the future. So, things are going very well in our feast so far. There's been no issues. The king has been honored. He loves me. And oh my god. Look at that. 75 more prestige. He's talking about my necklace. I mean, I know about the history. I want it. A pleasing atmosphere. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests throng to and fro, eating and chatting while flickering torchlight plays off every wall, light bouncing like laughter around the hall. It's a shame we couldn't get more guests, just another table full or so, but not everyone has the party spirit. Not everyone, perhaps, but I do, and I'm as good as a table or two all by myself. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back and enjoy the little things in life. And so I could say, here's where I want to be. I could mingle with people here. They would like me quite a bit. But because we are very stressed out, here's where I want to be. And now I feel incredible. A mayor loves my fresh quail. You're welcome. A feast with a friend. So here's my new friend. Once again, we eat, drink, and sing together as if no time has passed since we parted last. And so, we move on, and we grow. A toast to... The feast is starting to draw to a close, and my visitors are surely expecting me to lavish a little attention on King William, our esteemed guest of honor. Traditionally, a complimentary toast and a deep drink of wine does the trick. Then again, all William did was turn up. Oh no. I've got to feast and toast to him. That would be weird if I didn't. Alright, he would gain, what, highly esteemed for 10 years, 20% more prestige. He'll love me. We'll do that. He's our king. We've got to. And another rival. It's my caravan master fighting who? Some courtier. Well, she won. A celebration's end. Few candles survive after the last of the guests has left. I can hear a pair of servants letting out a sigh of relief after the doors close. The food is still warm on the ceramic plates. Soon, word will reach every corner of the realm, and every noble worth their salt will know that my magnificence is unparalleled. With everyone headed home with bellies full of exotic delicacies, I am proud to say that the feast was a success. Nevertheless, I'm still grateful that the endeavor is over for now. And look at that. Every non-courtly attending vassal, of course courtly being a vassal stance, gains 20 opinion of our duke. We gain 300 more prestige. We gain progress towards gaining the eager reveler trait, which has its own trait path as well. So now traits have a lot more to them. These buffs are pretty darn good. Look at that. We could become a better schemer just by partying. And because we are gregarious, a little bit more of a stress loss, and there's great banquet. So our capital gets, let's see, 20% more development and a lot more popular opinion. It is over and done with. Now that we've done 2 major events, it's about time for a war. Let's go after Oxfordshire. Did I get that pronunciation right? I hope I did. Let's declare war, and if not, let me know. He's in debt, so beating him won't be difficult. And I'm no longer allied to King William. Interesting, what happened to her? Wait, she was killed? Killed by a Welsh prince? I've had really bad luck. Maybe we're not meant to marry into the line of King William at all. That's really tragic. Another child killed. Who could we marry then? There's got to be someone decent around here. I've got to imagine. Let's find someone where I would gain a lot of prestige. Here we go. 24 years old. We could be married now. Let's save up money. We'll do a grand wedding, 200 gold as an average cost. We don't have to, but I do want to see the wedding. So I've got to do that. And our little war here won't take a long time. We just need to beat him, beat his little retinue, and finally move on. But we're going to marry into a noble line. I'm just going to save up a bit of coin before I do that. There's one dead enemy knight. That's good news for us. And now we just need to wait for a little over a year to take over Oxford. Our mother died finally too. So we'll need a new regent. All we had to do was chase around his little army and he fell apart. So now we're able to get out of there, thankfully. We've got some extra land. We'll need to give it away. I could go press after other territories. I might do that very soon. A proof of devotion. Lord Edgar, my benign lion. Adelaide, the daughter of Duke Robert of Normandy, is kneeling in the dust before me, right hand above her heart. My only desire is to bring you honor and happiness. Pray tell me, how can I prove my love for you? Oh dear. Wait, she could kill a wolf and bring me that pelt? I could get a necklace too from Duke Gilbert. A rare flower. And I could tell her to stop. You know what? I would like a pelt. I hunt a lot. Oh, she didn't do it. Well, I can't love you. Get out. Wait, you're also married. Go away. We've got the money, so it's about time to host a grand wedding. A grandiose celebration of the union of a couple. However, this is not just a wedding ceremony. It's a public show of influence and a social event where the nobility gather to practice the arts of diplomacy, seduction, and murder, or to share a drink with friends. What we're able to pick up is, of course, our marriage, for one. Prestige. People who attend will like us more. Courtly vassals will also like us. We may gain a bit more experience for our eager reveler trait. We'll lose stress. And here's two major buffs too that could happen. Magnificent host and gracious host. Let's plan our wedding. It could be a bloody wedding, but we're not about that life. Not today. We need a grand wedding. A wedding is meant to be a celebration of the union of two spouses, but also of two families. Thankfully, we do not need to travel. We don't have any modifiers to benefit our wedding outside of our capitals, only because it's our capital. It will lead to a gold gain. We don't need to travel, but in my entourage, I've got my caravan master, my bodyguard, and my physician too. Here's really the major part that we need to focus on. We could focus on murdering someone, seducing someone, and you might have noticed we've got a new garb. That felt appropriate because we've grown quite a bit. Matchmaking. No valid target for matchmaking, so we could set up a future marriage too if we wanted to. That's really cool. For diplomacy, gain an alliance with a selected character or even wow them into submission. Oh, there's a lot of really good stuff. I don't have a great target. I mean, there are many people over here, but I don't know who I would even want to ally. I think having the Holy Roman Empire on my side would be great, but their current emperor is very old. So why not a prince? There. That'll work out. Here's our activity options. For entertainment, we've got acrobats and musicians. Parochial and zealot vassals will gain more opinion of you. A bit of prestige too. If we go for troubadours and exotic fiends, we'll gain more eager reveler trait experience. Glory hound and courtly vassals will like you more. And of course, prestige. We'll do that. For food and drinks, we've got a generous feast, a modest one, or a gargantuan meal. A bonus to stress loss, increased health bonuses too. Yeah, we'll do that one. We're going to spend a lot of money today. Well, we might have to go down because I'm running out of money. Yeah, I won't be able to do a silver and gold wedding venue, but we'll have garlands and torches. If we do our massive one, silver and gold, we'll gain renown and prestige. I wonder if I come over here and... No, I need a bit more money. That's okay, though. We'll have a pretty decent wedding. Let's begin. And I've got my new trait, too. I'm one eager reveler. I found my wife. She's way over here in the Far East, over in India, so our wedding won't begin for 2 years. What are you doing over there? How did you get there? I have no idea. All right, so we've got a few other things we're going to be able to do while we wait on her to make it way over here. We've got so many people who are going to show up. The King of Scotland, Denmark, a Welsh prince, actually 2 of them, and many other people too. What a wedding. I just, again, don't know why she's over in India. She's like, yeah, I wanted to go for a walk. A very long walk. All that way, only to get married. Hopefully she won't be waylaid and killed by someone. That would be terrible. It's about time to use up a bit of my prestige. I'm going to have the king declare me regent. We're going to build up 25 strife. Strife is an opinion penalty for the diarch by their fellow vassals, which is fine. It'll go down over time. Many of them like me. So whenever he's not home, we get to have more power. Unfortunately, he did elevate crown authority. So because of that, we're going to have to change up our contract. Hey, keep on trying to find a secret. Because right now, I can't declare wars internally. I want to. I would also like a march. That way, our army's a lot cheaper, and we get a larger levy size. In exchange, I'll give you more levies. There. It's only a few more. I could handle that. Done. Well, thank you. I appreciate that change. So now, we're going to be able to make a lot more money. Look at that. Our expenses are so low. And as of right now, our king is going to be waiting in our lands for a very long time. She's still traveling over here. Let's have a look at our regency. We've got some power sharing going on. Earl Wolfston, he's quite old. He took over after my mother passed on. He's rather selfless, so he likes me quite a bit because of it. That's why he's not going to cause any issues. He's actually about our realm. So what a turn of events. And every other option we have, they're all selfless. They're very loyal too. His aptitude, however, is quite poor, so whatever mandate I give him, promote authority, swell armies, or fill coffers, he would just be okay at. Now, when it comes to our position, we are much better. Whatever he tells us to do, our king will do a great job at doing it. Though, we have nothing for the scales of power right now, in active level. Our loyalty is situational. That sounds about right. Yeah. Especially when you're talking about us. She's gonna make it over here one day. I can't believe how long we need to wait to get married. Imagine you're like, oh, she's over in France, send a letter. And that poor messenger has to travel all over the world just to make it to her. Oh, that poor guy. But she'll be here in how long? Let's have a look real quick. Oh my god, little under a year. She finally made it over here. The wedding ceremony starts. It always feels amazing when you've been planning for something for so long and spent so much money on it, and then it's finally there. Everything is ready. The decorations are in place. The guests are mingling, and servants scurry around with loaded dishes. I am pacing around in excitement and nervousness when my future spouse Ingrid appears, radiant in her finest attire. We are ready to begin, and I'm wearing my finest attire too. I won't change. I like what I have on. Artistic differences. As if organizing a wedding worthy of my family's stature weren't stressful enough, I also have to deal with Ingrid's relatives. Her brother, Prince Canute, arrived bright and early today and has been following me around ever since, complaining about this or that non-stop. As I feel a splitting headache growing behind my eyes, he continues blabbering undeterred. These flowers will make Ingrid sneeze, and his wool is too rough. What about the color scheme? I know that Ingrid won't like it. Oh lord. I could tell him it's gonna be fine. I could be mean too. But I'm sure we can find some common ground. It worked out. We found some common ground. We're better for it. A scheme over here. I'm finding out so much. We're revealing murder opportunities that we don't want at the moment. Alright. Condolences on your wedding. I pity you, acquaintance. King Malcolm tells me what married life is like. Full of bickering, mistrust, and strife. The end of any peace. Like me and my wife, he grumbles. Is that what my marriage to Ingrid will be like? No. Ingrid is perfect for me. I've only seen her like once. Maybe, I think. Well, I saw a painting done of her. A caricature. That's it, okay? I got a wedding gift. Oh, really now? Let's have a look real quick. Oh, I've got to equip my wolf fangs. And repair that item too. I've got to get my antiquarian later. Alright, let's go back. Thank you for my wedding gift, by the way. My head throbs with a noise of clattering furniture and chattering guests. The strain must show because my sister, Christina, takes my arm and steers me into the next room. The sound of preparation dies away. We speak of small things, times past, people we've known. Not a word about the wedding. Then, we run out of words and fall silent. Wonderful, a beautiful moment. Alright, thank you for being here, sister. Whoa, 3 kids! Our family has grown. She's married to House Godwin, and... Wait! Harold isn't dead. He's alive. He's a drunkard, sure. He's excommunicated. A murderer and a kinslayer. He's also the King of Ireland. Oh no, what a change. That's really interesting. So he went from being the King of England to conquering in Ireland. Our timeline is a bit cursed. Poisonous relations. The preparations and rituals of a wedding ceremony are many, In a lull in between them, I hear some snickering and scoffing coming from a group of Ingrid's relatives. When they see that they got my attention, Sven starts addressing me directly. It's truly a shame we couldn't find anyone better for poor Ingrid. But such is life. A challenge? Let's be challenged. Why not? Oh, he gave me a court artifact. A stalking wolf hide. Very kind. What's over here? Religious complaints. Everyone is excited and amazed by the magnificence of the wedding venue. Everyone but Adrian. Since his arrival, Adrian has been prowling, searching for any pretext to complain. Are you wearing makeup? Those colorful veils are sinful. What's with all this unchaste mingling? Is this all a show of luxury and lust? Yeah, probably. Well, you're very annoying, physician. Alright, I'm going to enjoy it as well. Get out of here, fool. Don't bother me at my wedding. Could it be you? Weddings are just politics. I steel myself as I wait for my future wife to join me. Just politics, I repeat to myself. How bad can it be? But nothing has prepared me for the moment I finally see Ingrid for the first time. No portrait or description could do justice to the gentle look on her face. No poet has ever sung a beauty such as hers. Time hangs still when our eyes meet, and everyone else seems to disappear. Then she smiles at me, and I know everything will be all right. Could it be you I've been waiting for? Now she's my soulmate from the very beginning. I don't have to let that happen later. I've done it now. The ceremony went on a blur. I can barely remember all the steps, rituals, and blessings I went through. And now it's time for our vows, the formal consent, the actual seal of the marriage. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with Ingrid? Oh, and by the way, if you want to go to the location where the event is going on, here's a little button for you. I do. I could say I don't. Oh, there would be consequences. There might be blows. But let's get married now. We gain renown. It's so cool to be able to gain renown for our dynasty. I mean, sure, it's a famous marriage. I never take off the helmet. Ever. As the ceremony concludes and we all move to the banquet venue, I secretly smile to myself, picturing the joys to come from my married life with Ingrid. Not everyone could be so lucky to marry such a likable person. I wish everyone to share, my happiness. Let's all tuck in. Let's have a look at that. She's gregarious, ambitious, greedy, and arbitrary, but we're getting along for right now. She's very strong too and has many, many claims. Also, oh my god, how many siblings? Good sir, that's too many. Sven, you were too busy of a man. Wow. Okay. Wait. He was only 39. No. Sorry. I'm looking at more children. I was worried, okay? I was worried that he had even more children. 52 years old, but only 52. That's very young. All right. Enjoy. More prestige for me. The wedding goes on. So right now, we're at the wedding banquet. Oh, it shows you last actions too. A weak hook. Huh. My cousin. What's over here now? Can't get away. I know I should be spending time with my new wife Ingrid and her family, but I just can't tear myself away from my friend, Mayor Gerard. I can see Sven starting to glare at me, but every time I try to excuse myself, Gerard has me howling with laughter all over again. Alright. I don't want to be a confider. No. People don't need to know. Sven? Come join us. Oh, it didn't work out. Okay, Sven and Gerard had an argument. A reeve of mine has been injured. It happens. And so we're still at the banquet. Then we get to have our wedding night. All over my new shirt. We could all tell Queen Mother Anna had too much... Oh, it's my mother-in-law, right? No, my cousin. Okay. She's just called a Queen Mother. I was wondering. She's been drinking and now she's spilling alcohol on my fine wardrobe. Alright, even though she insisted on showing us how sober she was, simply rising from her seat proved too much for her. And now I'm covered in stinking vomit. Ugh, I don't like that at all. Alright, I gained higher standards of courtesy for 5 years. Well, hold on, she puked on me. There's a line there. That isn't a higher standard, that's just a standard. Every feast, there's always one. Every single feast, one long-winded, ill-born pissant cornering people who just will not be silent. This time it's Helga, and she's relentless. I've tried every topic I can think of. I've tried disengaging, I've tried getting others involved, but she seems determined to hound me with grim implacability. I'm going to scream. I could grin and bear it, sure. I could say it's very interesting. I could say shut up, or just try to leave. I'll try, gently. And I've gained a new perk, that's even better. My talents are legendary. That must be true. Let's go pick one up. So what do I want over here? I've got friends already. Groomed to rule. That's going to be very handy for our future children. I like that option. We'll take that. I'm not going to change my lifestyle focus. I still want to focus on our military means for right now. The conversation partner. As one plate of food is replaced by the next, my acquaintance Duke Gilbert goes on and on about the art of love. I mean, he does have a mustache. I do trust him on that. And he's a bit, anyway. And that was how we salvaged that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, my lord? All right. You know what? How about we talk about you? All right? A little bit about you, pal. Let's change up our intent. We could use a good ally. The King of Scotland is here. That would be a great target. There we go. We'll try to see if we're going to be able to ally him. And let's just move on to our next event. Schemer discovered. Not important. I'm getting married. A legendary guest. As the banquet goes on, I find myself thinking of it a bit underwhelming. No impressive silk or tapestries. The finest gold has no place here. Neither do the greatest gems. As I look through the window, I find the night sky somehow inspiring. Out there exists the white game. Freely they roam our woods, and among their trees they hide. Hunting one, a legendary deed. Maybe I could simply paint one of our stag white. How else can I honor my own wedding? I've got to hurry. We'll try it right now. It's a crazy idea. We shouldn't do that. I've got a new boar hide. Oh, let's have a look at that real quick. A court artifact. Another hide. If only I could use it right now. It's actually really good, reducing our men-at-arms maintenance, but let's go back. A friend's friend. After observing King Malcolm from afar, I quickly come to the conclusion that I cannot just approach him and start talking about the weather, or the latest medical treaties, or war, and pray that becomes an alliance. I soon spot my liege, King William, across the room, known to be Malcolm's friend, happily chugging down goblets of wine. Tell me, where do Malcolm's interests lie? I ask, attentive. Just talk about books and how much you hate going outside. All right. I'm going to trust him. With my newly acquired knowledge, I artfully approach King Malcolm, who's enjoying the feast in some other's company at a different table, where a rich cloth is laid. May we have a small word, King? I ask. I wouldn't want to interrupt your parliament. King Malcolm raises his eyebrows, a hint of curiosity in his eyes. Well, of course, what matters bring you to me, noble Edgar? All right. Look at that. I could find some fine guests. I could talk about philosophy. He's not very well read, so I feel like our king wasn't really telling the truth, you know? Here, let's drink and eat. That's a good one. We are a kindred soul. And now, my wedding night is beginning. Not quite the alliance I wanted. Not quite there, but that's okay. All right. The feast has started winding down, with everyone seated and tired, but the day is still not over for Ingrid and me. A procession of guests leads us to our bedchamber, for the legitimacy of a wedding depends on it being consummated. Oh, it's time. Put to bed. Ingrid and I are led to the chambers by the raucous wedding party, the echoing shouts and laughter heralding the bedding ceremony. Hey, the bishop blesses our marital bed before tucking us in, pouring cups of strong spiced wine and directing us to drink them. We gaze at each other happily as the party starts to depart, alone at last. The door slams behind the last of the witnesses, the raucous party continuing down the hall, though the families are no doubt listening. Oh, come on. All right, let's go. Let's make it happen. The helmet stays on. She's flattered. Our grand wedding. Oh, look at that. We had some manner of event that increased diplomacy. That's really good. Well, let's go back. A night to remember continues. The fire in the grate has started to wither, and I stare at its flames in silence. The light, its warmth, Princess Ingrid is searching for something in her wooden chest, and I take my eyes off the flames to look at her. Edgar, she says, offering me a small package, unlike the one that she was given, wrapped in silk. I've saved it since I heard of our betrothal, and now I offer it to you as a token of my love. Well, that's very, very sweet. So I get a necklace. I don't really need it. What's over here? Favor of a lady. I do like the idea of exchanging artifacts. We'll do that. There. Now, the conclusion. When finally the last guest leaves, I look around at the deserted venue. The food leftovers, the spilled wine on the floor, the echoes of people's laughter still lingering in the air, and feel satisfied. What an amazing day. I did a very good job organizing it. I didn't get to actually ally the king, but I did try it pretty late. Now, again, have a look at what we've gained. 1,200 prestige. I've gained gracious host for 20 years. 50 gold gained. 38 stress loss. Remember, we had it in our capital, so we gained a little bit of gold back. And let's see. Celebrated a grandiose wedding for 20 years. Every guest likes me a lot more. We did it. No one died. That was a great way to end our wedding. Also, the king is beginning to like me more. I mean, he likes me in general. Not quite my friend. And you're able to see an entire just change log of what happened. So that was really good. And we are finally married. We have a wife. We just need a child now. But again, I can't believe that King Harold is over in Scotland. Oh, what about our own king? How is he doing? 53 years old. His prestige is lacking. I wonder what he did to lack so much prestige. And unfortunately, Prince Richard died, torn apart by a wolf. Oh no. Speaking of a wolf or just dying during some incident, I know that Earl Hugh's father, Hugh I, died as well. He fell from his horse while hunting. That concludes today's chapter. If you would like to see more, let me know. If not, we're going to move on to a new story. Duke Edgar was able to show you a joust in a tournament, and also after that, we were able to go through the entire ordeal and process of getting married in a grand wedding ceremony. Thank you for watching, everyone. Do leave a like and comment down below with your thoughts, and be sure to check out our Discord community as well. As always, until then.